2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, sesame seed bun. Am I reviewing a Big Mac or what? No, no, no. This is the BRE, the man in the backwards hat, Brandon from the SAS, the Snack Food Appreciation Society. And today I am taking a look at Burger King's latest version of the Big Mac, which seems to be quite a bit beefier. I'll be right back right after this to check out the Big King XL on OTR. You are looking live at Burger King on Germantown Road in Germantown, Maryland. And yes, even though they spent a month inside there remodeling the interior, it still looks exactly the same as it did before that, in my opinion. And also, they're really behind the times in terms of advertising their specials. Seeing how they got the sourdough burgers and the crispy chicken tenders right out front like that. But anyway, not a lot of other commerce in this area. There's a 7-Eleven just beyond this, in this little strip. But beyond that, it's mostly residential with Montgomery College just right behind us over there. Anyway, today I'm here at Burger King to check out this Big Mama Jamma. And that Big Mama Jamma is the somewhat brand new Big King XL, $6.89. It proclaims to have 175% more beef than a McDonald's Big Mac. Well, it costs about 200% more when you take into consideration right now you can get 2 Big Macs for $5 down at the local Mickey D's. But what do we have here but the same exact ingredients as a Big Mac, except I, of course, omitted the onions because I don't like raw onions on my burgers, and I would do the same with a Big Mac if I were to be reviewing it. However, instead of special sauce or Mac sauce, it has what's called stacker sauce on it, which is something that came out several years ago with the stacker line of burgers that I think is long gone itself. Not quite as orange looking as the standard Mac sauce, but still very, very tangy. Okay, so you got 2 all-beef patties. I suspect that those are Whopper patties because they're huge, like big discs. You got your pickles, like I said, no onions. Lettuce, which, of course, looks like it was just ripped apart with their bare hands. They don't even bother to chop it. It's just, let's just pull this apart, like, brutally, as roughly as possible. And then, of course, on a sesame seed bun. All right, gang, let's see how this thing tastes and more right after this on OTR. All right, gang, it's really, really cold today. As you may know, I film OTR most weeks on Monday so it can run on Tuesday because of my work schedule. And yeah, it's something like -4 degrees outside with the wind chill, so not real pleasant out there today. But you know what? Doesn't seem all that bad to me when I was out there for a few minutes. I guess if I had to be out there a little bit longer, it would be pretty darn bad. Let me go ahead and pick up this bad boy. There you go. Give you a little bit better look at it and a little bit of a 360 spin. There you go. There's that ripped apart lettuce I was talking about. Very classy, Burger King. Keep it classy. Show it to you next to my noggin the way I always do. This is a big, big burger, guys. Don't get me wrong. It might be worth the $6.89 price tag, but I'm just saying, it is a lot more expensive than a Big Mac. Although, it's at least twice as big as a Big Mac. They're saying 175% more beef. I don't know about that, but we'll find out how beefy it is after I take this bite and let you know what I think. If you want an example of how cold it is out here, check out this Taco Bell hot sauce, or I guess it's Diablo. It's frozen, guys. I can push it, but it's like there's a really thick Slurpee inside there. That's really, really cold. Anyway, that thing does not scream Big Mac at me, so it's just different enough flavor-wise for me to enjoy it on its own. However, it's not going to have addictive qualities like the Big Mac does for many, many reasons. Most of all being the sauce. The sauce is there, but it's not nearly as prevalent as the Mac sauce. It doesn't just hit you over the head with a hammer like the Mac sauce does. It's a little bit sweet, a little bit tangy. Not much zest to it, though. I think that's where it falls off. Also, they don't put quite as much on there, believe it or not, even with this larger burger. Maybe it's the amount of sauce per capita or something, but definitely not as saucy or noticeably saucy as the McDonald's Big Mac. Of course, it's missing that middle bread, so that's actually a good thing in this case, because this thing's so gigantic that, you know, that extra piece of bread be another couple hundred calories stuck in there for no reason, and it would end up being a completely soggy mess by the time all is said and done. So let's build this from the bottom to the top the way we always do. The sesame seed bun is fine. It's not very flavorful, unless you get one of those sesame seeds, you know, by itself and get to enjoy that experience, crunching down upon it and getting that sesame flavor. Then you got the sauce, and I already described that pretty much. It's tangy but not zesty, a little bit sweet. I think it's a little bit heavier on the mayonnaise side, I would say, and that's probably why it's not quite as zesty as mac sauce. I don't know if they were trying to replicate it exactly anyway, but they didn't, if that's what they were trying to do. The beef patties are good, nice flame broiled flavor. That's one thing that Burger King has improved on in the past several years that I've been reviewing their product. They were getting to a point where their burgers were almost always very dry, kind of gray, and not that flavorful anymore. And I think they finally got the formula back on how to cook these things right, because they're juicy, they're flavorful, they taste like, you know, they were grilled somewhere. I don't know about on your dad's grill in the backyard, but they were definitely grilled somewhere. All those other toppings in there, the cheese, you know, there has to be cheese on a good burger. And my friend Christy at work, she says that Burger King has the best cheese in the business. And I can't disagree in terms of, you know, just straight up like American cheese on a burger. It's pretty darn good. But it's, I don't know. In this particular case, it didn't add a ton to this particular burger, but it did its job, which, you know, cheese has to do. Then you've got the pickles, which were probably one of my favorite parts of this burger, because they were nice and crunchy, nice, juicy, and flavorful. Lots of dill flavor coming out there. That was really nice, too. Also, then you have your lettuce, like I already described, like it's been completely manhandled and ripped apart rather than shredded or chopped or anything like that. Maybe even they just stomp on it. They just put it on the ground, give it a good couple of stomps, and that's all they need, and it goes, you know, on the burger just like that. And that's why it falls all over your car or all over your lap, you know, causing a heck of a mess. No onions on mine, guys, so, you know, be angry at me for not reviewing it in its original state, but I don't like it that way, so too bad. You could add bacon to it, but we'll get into that probably a little bit further down the line when that bacon Big Mac comes out pretty soon. I think it might even already be out in some areas, but it's due out the end of the month around here. So putting all of that together, I would say that this thing warrants, at the price that you get for it, about a 2/3 of a thumbs up. It's not awesome. I probably wouldn't buy it again when there's a lot of other burgers in there that I would buy first. Like that double sourdough bacon king is outstanding, guys. I would get that again and again. But this, I don't think I'd get it again, quite honestly, unless some of the other better big burgers here were taken away. I find it really funny that they've really expanded upon the King Burger sandwich line over the years since they came out. And if you remember correctly, the first one was the Big King, and that was a smaller version of this, which was another replica of the Big Mac that claimed to have, I think, 50% more beef than a Big Mac, something like that. Well, they went way over the top with this one. You've probably had 10, 15 different King burgers since this has happened, whereas the Whopper is largely untouched. Outside of, you know, that one with the red bun, the angry one, the one with the black bun, and then the one with the green bun this particular year, they really haven't messed with the Whopper too much. I don't know, maybe the Whopper's just stale. I think I brought it up before. I thought they might be phasing out the Whopper, but they're not going to do that because then they wouldn't be called the home of the Whopper, right? Right. I mean, who puts a burger out there in 2019 with no cheese on it? Come on, you know. Get with the times, guys. All right, and get with the times yourself by checking out all the links in the description down below while you're leaving a comment. We've got the Facebook group with 1,000 of the coolest people of the whole world in our group, and you should be one too. Why aren't you? Also, support us on Patreon to get exclusive weekly content OTR The Extra Mile. I know that the week before last, somehow the show didn't get up there on Patreon, so I put it on last week. So you got 2 shows last week to make up for the lack of a show the previous week. I apologize for that, technical difficulties and all. So stay tuned for The Extra Mile if you're a Snack Society supporter on Patreon. If you're not, get on board by clicking on that link in the description down below. Also, check me out on Twitter and Instagram. I'm at Brandon Reich SAS. When you do, make sure you use the handy hashtag Snack Society all day, every day. That way you know what we're eating and we know what you're eating too. So make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, ring that bell to be notified. And in the meantime, in between time, I will see you next time, guys. Bye.